And let's see if this works. I hit go live. And okay.
Love it.
Oh, preparing.
Okay.
Yay.
Yay, it's streaming.
Okay, you see that too?
Yeah, excellent. So we're live on Facebook now.
Hello, everyone.
All right. It's
Good
still
morning,
going,
everyone.
setting up, redirecting.
We're so excited to be here.
Mhm.
Now this is interesting. Okay, so I
Excellent.
wonder-
We're live.
Oh,
We're
yes,
live.
we are. Yes, we are. How about that? Awesome.
Happy Tuesday.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we finally got this working. So I'm going to go back over here. So our very first episode of Tuesday Talk. I am so excited to do this. I'm Deanna Hins. I am the owner of Carbon Soak, and I'm going to introduce these two lovely ladies. Actually, I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves, and then we'll talk about how this all came to be. So DeeJae, do you want to go first? Just because you're in the order that I see. So.
Sure, absolutely. Good morning, everyone. I'm DeeJae. I'm a live streamer, turning into podcasting, really experiencing some fun things there and growth there. Kind of talk about mental health, disability, and trauma. I've been streaming for about over a year now, really working on some remote production work, really love enjoying working with individuals, really reach their goals. So I'm here and we're talking, and it's really exciting for the invitation to be able to talk.
Well, I'm so glad you said yes. I'm so glad both of you said yes, because I kind of sprung this on you last minute. But before we dig into that, Edie,
yes,
share the world how amazing you are and who you are.
Hi, everyone. I'm back on Facebook for the first time in like a couple of years, I think.
Technically, you're not. You're with me on Zoom, kind of on Facebook.
Yeah. My name is Edie Clark. I am a remote video creator and YouTube channel manager, and I work with service providers who are interested in gaining visibility for their business, but they don't have the time or the inclination to do it themselves, and they want to outsource it to someone else. So that's what my company does. And I'm happy to be here with Deanna and DeeJae to just chat about work and business and entrepreneurship and life and everything. Looking forward to it.
Ooh, yes, I am too. So just to share a little bit about how this all came to be. Now, you guys, you may know, you may not know. All I know is I sent you both an email and said, hey, do you want to do this? And you're like, yeah, count me in. Yeah. So I don't even know if you guys really know what you signed up for.
No.
No, but okay. I trust you.
Exactly.
That's why I love you guys, because you're like, yeah, I'm totally in.
Plus,
so I had this idea. I've had it a while ago, actually. And, you know, we all talk. We are all friends. And DeeJae and I are part of a mastermind. Edie, you and I go way back. From Chicago, speaking at Keys to Digital Marketing Success together. And when you're off camera, you know, the conversation is a lot different than when you do an interview. You're kind of sticking to a script. Granted, the interviews are still very casual, but you've got like this agenda of how you want to bring value and how you points that you want your audience to hear. But then when you're off camera, we're still talking about really good stuff. It's just, there's no agenda. It's just however it flows. And to me, that's like the good stuff. Like those are the real conversations that everybody needs to hear. So it was like, let's see if we go live and we just stream and talk about the way we would talk about if the camera was not on. right?
Yeah.
And what would that,
Yes.
what would those conversations be, and how can we share? Because there is so much value. I have learned from both of you so many things when it's just impromptu, and I think we all have, when you don't have that agenda in place. So I'm like, let's do a Talk Tuesday. It's our first one. We'll see how it goes. And it's just a roundtable talk. And right now we're using Zoom. And this was a conversation that we had just minutes before going live. And I don't know if Zoom is actually the right platform to do this in. So most likely we will switch it up. But if anybody is watching, I have no idea because I can't see that on Zoom. If anybody's watching,
That would be one of those things.
Ask comments. I will hop back and check from my phone to see if anybody has asked anything. But that's one of the downfalls of using Zoom, which I'm quickly learning, is you can't see who's on. You can't see their comments. And I thought that you can share to Facebook groups and Facebook page. No, it's an or. So I totally lied on my post this morning that we'd be in both places. We're not in both places. And YouTube. I was having a glitch with YouTube, but I have no idea.
Right. May I interject? Because this is a great example of why multi-streaming is so valuable and so key. This is why multi-streaming really brings, like, just in case one channel is falling off, something's out of order, not syncing up correctly, doesn't connect, anything can happen. And for me, doing it for a year, just about every week, something's bound to go wrong, get a little hazy. You've got to be multitasking. You've got to be concentrating on the various processes. And technology is one of the most intimidating, at least it is for me. So I get it. So when I find a streaming service that kind of make it as easy as possible, I feel so much more confident. I feel like I can do a much better job. Then I can really pay attention to the conversation that we really want to enjoy. And you want to create that really great content that is full of value. For me, I speak about disability trauma, and those conversations are important. They're not easy. And you just really want to not have to worry so much about the other stuff when you are having those conversations with your guest. I do a one-on-one type style of show. So I really like that conversating back and forth. And it's a little bit more unscripted. And I appreciate that. It's something that these casual conversations really do bring a lot more value than people, I think, sometimes realize.
I have two questions for DeeJae, actually. One is, what is the platform that you prefer to use? And the second is more based on your topic. I'm now seeing that I'm not a live streaming expert. I'm going to be upfront about that. I don't really live stream unless I'm a guest. But I'm seeing that there is a shift that maybe it's only in my world that I'm seeing, where not only are people obviously doing live streams and they're doing them using these multiple different platforms, but there seems to be a pocket of people that are creating content of meaningful topics like ones that you talk about, but they're catering that to outlets like Roku or Hulu or Apple TV. So I wanted to get your take on A, the platform that you use for live streaming, and then I guess B, where do you plan to grow your podcast or show or whatever terminology it is that you're using?
Oh, thank you, Edie. Great question. My favorite platform, and I'm currently using, is Restream. Restream is, for me, super simple. It's user efficient. You don't have to give it too much thought. It really does the majority of the bulk. And then it has some extras in there, so you don't have to go create overlays and the bells and whistles to kind of give a little sparkle to your show in that sense. And that's kind of like a different, I guess, feature that Zoom doesn't offer. You can't make a layout here. You can't add branding so much to make this a branded show. Like, you really want to create that ambiance and that virtual space of, this is a place where we're going to have casual conversations. But to answer the second part, or the second question, I haven't really thought about Roku and Hulu, but I have heard of more and more streamers going that way. I've considered it. I'm trying to gather more information to figure out how to do that. On the added note, I actually just spoke with Podbean, and I made a comment to them actually saying, as a live streamer, that they provide live streaming. They're very aware of accessibility and being inclusive on their platform. I was kind of drawn to them. I said, number one, you don't stream out. There's no streaming out to channels. You're streaming to your own platform. Drawing people in is a little bit, people don't want to change platforms. You got to meet people where they're at. I say that quite frequently. So if they're on Facebook, meet them on Facebook. If they're on LinkedIn, you're going to meet them on LinkedIn. People don't really want to switch over. If they're on LinkedIn, you can't send them to Twitch. All right.
Right.
You know, you can't, if they're on Facebook and they love their Facebook, because that's where the majority of they're not going to want to go to your YouTube channel. I mean, they might subscribe if you put a post and say, hey, subscribe, but they're going to continue watching you on the platform that's comfortable and familiar to them, that provides this, you know, that level of engagement that they're comfortable with. So but I thought about Roku and Hulu, and that's something really to consider moving forward as, and hopefully I know in the future there'll be some more opportunities for these conversations as Podfest and VidFest comes on, and I start expanding and speaking more with podcasters and their craft and the difference between live streaming. And I'm, you know, the more conversations you have, the more you start to see these nuances within the different niches and the different mediums that we all use to really speak our message and share our content. So
I think that there might be a good, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. The last thing was for Podbean was I told them that there was no social advocacy type of channel. Like, I'm not sports, I'm not crime drama, I'm not comedy. And for me, sometimes I'm not a nonprofit, but I'm a place of advocacy, and I do social advocacy. So they didn't have that category. So again, where do I niche myself on their list of what type of content do you make?
Right. Yeah. And what I was going to say is that there is an organization called, and I don't know if you've heard of it, Win-Win Women. And they actually had approached me earlier this year or last year. I forgot how I got in contact with them, but I think it was through the networking group that I'm in, Happy Neighborhood Project, which I highly recommend to anyone. And it's, you know, it's not, I don't
We're gonna have to drop that in the comments.
Yeah, I have visited that a few times and I liked it.
It's a really good way of networking and meeting just a wide range of people from all over the world, and you get information and learn about things that you wouldn't ordinarily. So I think it was because I was in this group, I connected with somebody that either mentioned my name or somehow I got connected with them, and they had approached me because what they were doing and still are doing is they've created a platform where you can have a show on Roku. I don't know if Roku's one of them, but I know Apple TV, and I can't remember what the other ones were. And the reason why I was like, well, okay, this isn't for me, it was because it was more suited, I think, for you, DeeJae, because it was, you had to have a weekly show that was at least an hour long. And and it was live streamed. You couldn't do, I'm a pre-recorded queen.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So
I love this.
So I'm thinking of you. So I would definitely look them up. It's winwinwomen.com. Because I think that would be, and the types of shows that I saw that they had, the women that were on there were more in line with what you were like, advocacy and, you know, things of that nature. So I think that
social issues.
Yeah. Social
Thank
issues.
you. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I have learned so much from DeeJae, and I shared this with her yesterday when we were talking, that I never put a lot of thought into who can access what I was posting online. I posted it, like I really didn't think about that there are some people have challenges. They're not able to see the pictures that I'm sharing. And, you know, I didn't always use the alt tags because, like I shared with DeeJae, I mean, I schedule the majority of my content. There are things that are on the fly. And when you're scheduling, most scheduling tools don't have a place for you to put the alt tag in, even though now the social platforms do. LinkedIn has it where you can fill that out. Instagram, Facebook, they have that where you can do it. But when you're on a scheduling platform, it's not there. So you don't always do it. And I never thought about that. I never thought about uploading PDFs to a website that not everybody can read that, because the software that's used for people who are visually impaired won't read a PDF.
Interesting. I've heard about that a lot lately, more lately, because somebody, again, on H&P was mentioning that they do something like they review your websites to make sure that it's, is it ADA approved?
Yep.
And I was like, that's a thing. And so I was not aware of that. So I probably need to connect with that person to make sure, because I'm sure, well, my site was originally created by someone. So I think all my alt tags are there, but anything I've added, I know I've been like hit and miss with that. But as a visual person, in terms of that, I create videos. The one thing that I was aware of, which I have adapted to because I got a comment on it, was I no longer use music on my videos because someone who was hard of hearing commented on a video that I'd done and said that they couldn't really hear what I was saying because of the music. So when they said that, I was like, oh my God, I never even thought about that. So I no longer use music on my videos on YouTube. And I actually encourage my audience and clients not to do it as well, because that is something that they needed to be concerned about. But other than that, and then I do the closed captioning all the time. But other than that, I hadn't even thought of, for someone who can't see, what do I do?
Right.
Yeah. So that's
real quick.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love this stuff because I'm learning too. So yeah.
Great tip. I didn't even know that one, Edie. So now I'm going to add that one to my tool bag.
Okay.
I'll share that one with the world. Now I know a YouTuber that this is what they did and it worked for them. Like success after success. It's so great that these conversations are really happening. For me, it was a guest that said, can we not have the music because I can't concentrate? I can't focus on the conversation. And I said, oh, and for me, I used music to cover my nerves, to cover that I was a new streamer. I wanted the music to take away the shake in my voice.
Okay.
And it was like, I'm doing the music for myself, passive, making myself feel a little bit more comfortable, but it's now this guest says, I can't concentrate. I can't hear you. Similar, not for hard of hearing, but more of a cognitive reason, a neurodiverse reason. And I thought, okay. And after that, I never used music again.
That's interesting that you say that, because I have hearing aids. And one of the things, and I've never noticed it, like watching a YouTube video or listening to a podcast, but in public, if the TV's on and if my husband's watching YouTube, the two conflicting noises drive me insane because I don't know what to listen to. Right. So I will turn the TV off every time because I don't really watch a lot of TV. I don't care so much about TV. I'm always doing something else. But I get that. I get what you're saying, DeeJae and Edie, what that person had said to you. I totally understand that.
Yeah. You never know. And that's what I love that about specifically YouTube, in the sense that you're able to get that instantaneous response from your viewers that are letting you know exactly what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. And I think that, and I'm presuming it's the same for all of you with the different platforms that you're on, but I know that a lot of people were apprehensive about doing videos on YouTube in particular. And I was certainly up there with the trolls and what are they going to say? And, all of this kind of stuff. And that certainly kept me hiding for a really long time. Because initially I used to just do videos where you couldn't see me because I didn't want anybody commenting. And I had hair then. Um, but the reality is that you can use those comments, the negative and the positive comments, to better yourself. And so that's what you kind of need to think about. And you can learn and be educated on topics that you wouldn't have even thought was an issue. And that was the instance with me. It never even occurred to me that there could be a viewer that could be distracted by the music that I was playing. And I typically didn't use a lot of music, but this one particular video, I used music throughout the entire video.
Oh, wow.
And that was the one that they commented on. And I was like, okay, I won't be doing that again.
I would have never thought of that.
Yeah.
And like I said, there was so many things I never thought about. And like I said, when I'm designing websites, the PDFs and uploading a PDF, I mean, you've used alt tags on images, but I've also just uploaded PDFs for them to download, and I'm like, wait, I realize I'm totally missing the mark. So now I do it differently, where I actually put the text. You can click on it and either download the PDF, or you can click and read. And it goes to another page that isn't like, it's like not on the menu, behind the scenes kind of a thing, where you're able to read what that PDF says. But I had to change it up, and it's interesting because there is so much we're not aware of that we take for granted. And you know, I know DeeJae, I'm grateful for everything that you've been teaching me, just listening to you and listening to your podcast and the guests that, or your live streaming, I'm sorry, that you've had on. I'm definitely learning a lot from you. So I have a question for you, Edie, and it was actually a comment that a client of mine, she was a client a while ago for website design, and now she's going through a total rebrand. So she's been kind of on pause, and she was told recently that YouTube is dead. Okay, that's what so I was like, no, and I really wanted to connect her with
YouTube is dead.
I'm like, actually, it's the second largest search engine.
Yeah.
Yes, her son had shared that with her. And so, yeah, I mean, not for nothing, but a lot of times if I'm dealing with a client, and I will say my age or older, if their son, daughter, niece, nephew tells them something about the online world, they believe it.
Right.
Because they're like, well, they know a bit more than I do about this.
Right.
So she was like, well, I was going to, do YouTube. And she's got this vibrant personality. Like her butt needs to be on YouTube, honestly.
Right.
She's just full of personality. And when she said that, I was like, no, I'm not going to profess to say that I know what all the stats are and the percentages of who's using it from who's not using it. Based on my observation, I think that younger users are probably splitting most of their time between, maybe not so much YouTube anymore, but they're certainly onto TikTok and spending the vast majority of their time over there. And because of that, there may have been a drop in, what is that, Gen Z? Yeah,
I don't know what the generation is.
Yeah,
I don't either. Yeah. I always have to, I'm like, what are we? Gen X, Gen
I'm going to
Z,
go with Gen
millennial.
Z. I'm going to go with
We're
Gen
generation.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that. I'm on the cusp of Gen X and baby boomer. I'm literally on the line. So that's what I would assume is the logic behind that. But more and more people are using YouTube for the very reason that you explained, because it is a search engine. And regardless of what platform her son is using, I'm betting whether you're Gen Z, Y, X, whatever it is, if you're looking for something and you're searching, you're going to be looking at a YouTube video to find out how to use it.
Yeah,
or how to do whatever.
Yeah, I agree, because even if you type it into your regular Google search, it will populate a video associated from YouTube.
Exactly.
It's not like you can't hide a video if you put it on YouTube. Right. Google will find it and search it in someone's quest for knowledge of some sort.
I don't think, and now YouTube is, not competing per se, but the fact that they have YouTube shorts and a lot of TikTokers are repurposing their TikToks as YouTube shorts proves to you that it's not dead. So
interesting. I was going to ask you about the shorts because I remember you telling me once before that shorts are hot right now on YouTube. And I was going to ask if there was a correlation between that and TikTok.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that TikTokers were TikTokers. I don't even know. Yeah.
Why not?
Repurposing.
I'll make that word up.
The TikTokers.
I will second it on this conversation.
I didn't realize that they were repurposing their content on YouTube. I see it on Instagram.
Yeah.
I see them repurposing TikTok on Facebook and on Instagram now that the whole Reels thing is hot. But interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's only natural. Yeah.
Yeah, it totally is.
Because as they extend their time, and then YouTube is what, 60 seconds?
It's 60 seconds, and it just opens them up to another audience. And because shorts are hot, they're gathering a lot of views fast. So, because, everybody's got this short or shortened attention span. So they would sooner look at the shorts than go to the channel and look at a longer video, although that is the intent and hope. And I think it is helping for some people with their longer channels, but you're seeing YouTube creators who have been on YouTube for years and years and years also doing shorts, which are usually shortened versions of whatever their long form is that's on their channel. So that's helping get the word out about whatever new video that they may have put out or whatever it is that they're doing on their YouTube channel. But definitely TikTokers are repurposing.
Very interesting. And then TikTok's going for 10 minutes. They're extending it. Yes, they're extending now to 10 minutes.
See, so now they're trying to compete with YouTube.
So
how could YouTube be dead? There you go.
That's it. That's true. So. Yeah, which I think 10 minutes is too long for TikTok. I don't think
that's a long. I honestly can say, and I am semi-proud of this, I do not have the TikTok app on my phone. I've never downloaded it. My son keeps telling me about it, and I'm like, nope, not going to do it.
Yeah.
I got one TikTok, me and my daughter.
Oh, yeah.
I like dancing, and I want to do those reels. Like, I made a list of my favorite audios, and I think it would be fun for me. But I do long form live streaming. So I need to think of a short form of still capturing my personality, still drawing viewers to my long form
content. Answer a question.
Huh?
Answer a question in a minute.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's 60 seconds. Right there.
Yeah.
We can cut this video up into a lot of little shorts.
Yeah. Something that somebody said
in your live stream too. You can cut your live stream up.
Yeah.
And upload it into the shorts.
There's definitely creative ways to do it. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Highly recommend that.
You know what? And then I love what you said, Edie, is that you haven't downloaded or used TikTok. And first off, I just have so much respect for you because both of you do this, right? You just you both, DeeJae, you are LinkedIn. Edie, excuse me, you are YouTube, and that's your lane. You may dabble a little. Well, Edie, I don't think you dabble anywhere.
I am on LinkedIn.
I mean, outside. Okay, that's right. That's right. You are on LinkedIn.
That's the only dabbling I do.
That's your that's your dabble.
On LinkedIn, girl. Come dabble over
there. But I love it because so many times people are like, you know what? You have to be everywhere. And like, you don't have to be everywhere.
I don't agree with that anymore. I think if you are established, if you are at a point in your business where you have a huge team that can create the content and then distribute it on every single platform, then by all means do that. Yeah. But if you are, you know what your wheelhouse is, then I say focus on that. And if it's Facebook and Instagram, okay, do that. If it's YouTube and LinkedIn, do that. If it's TikTok and is Snapchat a thing still?
It is.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think that it was, but my son was just here visiting. And he says he's not on Snapchat as much, but it's still there.
Oh, okay.
and so-and-so was snapping or whatever. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
know, when I'm,
Yeah. I don't know any of that. Cause that's
Really
another
yeah.
one that
easy.
I never downloaded it, never
Oh,
went
I
on it,
did.
never did
I did for a
anything.
hot minute. And I was
Yeah.
like, I wasn't into it, but I think I
Yeah.
was too old.
Oh, I'll say something that's maybe a little opposing. Ooh.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So as a new entrepreneur and a new content creator, I felt like, yes, I have to be everywhere, right? I have to get my face out there, my brand out there, the name out there, like establish some sort of footing.
Mhm.
In the sense, I felt like I'm not prominent on each one, but I feed each as much as I can as
Right.
a single individual. So I love Twitter. Twitter's easy. Usually when I'm doing reading or research, whoop, tweet it right out.
Mhm.
And I can stream to Twitter, right? So if I'm streaming my show, it's already in my destinations. So the channels are not that difficult to maintain for me because I'm active on most of them weekly with my show. And then it's just sprinkling extras like a photo on Instagram, a
Right.
couple tweets on Twitter. But I do agree that you can't invest. I mean, if you don't have a team, it's
Yeah.
very difficult. It's
Yeah.
not to say that this is easy, and it can get very overwhelming. And you do have to choose very carefully how you're going to nurture those social media channels
Right.
and continue to build your brand and maintain a presence that really captures your true values and the true essence of what you do. And that's hard because I'm still exploring. So it's,
Right.
you do it, you got to get out there, just don't think about it. Don't wait for
Yeah.
perfection. But at the same time, when someone looks me up, I don't want to have blank, they can't find me either.
Right.
Because I feel if I'm trying to build something, it's like I have to kind of have some social
Yeah.
media presence. But
That happened with me.
yeah, I use like the live streaming just really helps keep each
Yeah, I think that's key. I think that's
platform
why, yeah,
alive, feeding
totally.
some, yeah.
Totally. And I think that a lot of people bear in mind too, that nowadays it's probably a little bit easier, but I know back in the day of like Periscope, people were
Mhm.
petrified of live streaming, and it was not something that
Yes.
came natural to people when they were first doing it. So that wasn't an easy thing for people to say, oh, okay, well, I'll just live stream to all of these
Right.
different
No.
platforms, because that technology didn't even exist back
Yeah.
then. But I agree with you. If you have a commitment that you're going to live stream every single week and you have the capability of streaming out to multiple platforms, by all means, go ahead and do that. The
It would be
mindset
great
that
for
I
your
was,
business.
yeah, the thought process that I had was that I'm pre-recorded queen. So I was thinking more
Yeah.
from that perspective.
Right.
I create hero content, and then how do I get that out to all of the different platforms? And every single platform is different
Yeah.
and
Love that.
requires a different type of content, requires a different length, requires a different format. So that makes it a lot harder. And from there, you need to say, okay, where's my audience? Do I
Yeah.
have a following on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Snapchat, on, all of these different things? And if I'm not sure if I have one, do I want to experiment just to find out? And so that's the choice that I think some people that are starting new, that are not going the live stream route,
Mhm.
and that are either manually creating content because they're just into images and text, or even if they're doing video, they're like, okay, where should I go? And I say, follow where your audience is.
Absolutely.
So if your audience is on TikTok, do TikTok. If your
Mhm.
audience is on Twitter and Facebook, do those. And so
Yeah.
that you can start off doing that, and then you can branch out afterwards.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yes.
I found it was so interesting that when I went through my rebrand, right leading up to the rebrand, I got off of Facebook and Instagram, and I was just on Twitter and LinkedIn. And it felt really good. I'm not going to lie. It felt really great to be off of Facebook and off of Instagram. Now I do like Instagram. I don't have a problem so much with Instagram as I do with Facebook, because I do like photography and I do like the images and things like that. It's just a little bit of a different vibe on Instagram in comparison. But I was off for almost 3 months and I went through the rebrand, and then I had somebody reach out to me and they said, they panicked because they couldn't find me on Facebook. And they looked all over, they found my new brand, hunted me down, found the new brand, found the business, and then they reached out. They wanted to propose on a new business they were just launching. But I was like, wow, you went through a lot of work to find me.
Right, right, yeah.
And
You're worth
which
it.
was awesome, right? But I'm like, then I started second guessing, like, are they looking for me on Facebook? And my answer is yes. My audience is looking on Facebook, but my engagement on Facebook is so pathetically low. To me, I'm like, it's just, there's like little engagement on Facebook. Instagram has more, LinkedIn has more. But people, they want me to still be there. It's almost like, we may not want to talk to you, but when we're ready, make sure you're right where we left you.
It's a comfort thing, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a familiarity.
It is.
And that's good. Continuity, that trust. You've built it. So it's definitely a positive thing.
It's just funny though, because then, I'm like, okay, I'm here. Like, can you just like note down my website and go there and check me out? Or, here's my phone number. Give me a call when you're ready. But yeah, so it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. The whole, where am I supposed to be? Because I tested it at the end of 2021. I was testing and hopeful, and I'm back over here, and you know what? That's where a lot of my audience is. So even though it's not where I want to be, it's where they are. So
see, we're right back to where this started. This is great.
Huh?
I said this is where kind of the conversation started, or we already referred to this kind of meeting where they're at, and really knowing where your audience and your consumers are that love your content, and being available to them so they can enjoy it the way that find you.
So can I ask a question, and can we shift the topic a little bit? I kind of wanted to get DeeJae's thoughts and yours, Deanna, but I know that you don't watch TV, so that's the only reason.
Not a whole lot. No, not unless it's like Yellowstone or
my husband's
Blacklist, although Blacklist is boring me now, but I won't get into the shows that I do. Ozark, if Ozark comes back, like I've got my favorites.
You're into the same shows my husband obsesses over. Well, this isn't a TV show. It's something that happened on TV, and I wanted, because DeeJae's specialty or expertise lies in mental health, and I wanted to get her thoughts on this. And that's the thing that's probably been blowing up the internet, that happened yesterday or Sunday, which was at the Academy Awards when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. And so I wanted to know, do you think that was a mental break that he had, or was that just,
that's
something?
So I didn't watch it. I didn't hear about it. Social media started to show me glimpses of whether you agree or disagree with what Will Smith did. And, in response to defending Jada Pinkett Smith. And I'm like, ooh, wow. But no, I personally, you shouldn't put your hands on someone. There's no justification to physically walk across the stage and assault, hurt, physically. But that's just it was difficult because I wanted to go back and see, but it was even difficult to go back and look for the video footage, try to see what it looked like. Because
it was I saw it live. I know, Deanna, I'm sure you did not
not live.
Watch the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
But did you see it online?
I did. Well, yeah, I get up
Oh.
in the middle of the night for no reason at all. And then I grab my phone and start skimming. So I saw what happened. And there was a clip that wasn't on TV. That's what they said, right? It was the real clip. So you can see
Oh,
what
it was the
happened when he went back
uncensored
with him
international
swearing at him.
version.
Yes. So I was watching it and I was like, oh my goodness. Like, and my thing was, I thought it was staged. Oh,
That's what I thought at first too.
and here I'm like, and I don't know if it was or wasn't, right? But my thought was, if Will Smith hits Chris Rock, I would think Chris Rock would go down or something a little bit more.
Okay, yeah.
And he smiled when he walked away. And I'm like,
Right.
the Oscars have been losing ratings. Right, but look at, we're all talking about it.
Like
We're
a stunt, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and nobody arrested him. If it was a random person who walked up on stage, I mean, I think when Kanye even interrupted Taylor Swift, they did something immediately to stop it, didn't they?
No, he was able to stay there and talk.
Did he? Okay.
You could see the reaction of the audience, but nobody, I don't think anybody went up to get him. No.
No, they let him stay up there. Okay, I can't remember, but I was like, you would think punch or hitting, slapping, punching, hitting, whatever,
open
putting
hand. Was it open hand?
But
it was open hand, I think, from what I could see. Yeah.
You would think somebody would have escorted him, or
right? Yeah. Well, I think he's Will Smith,
but that shouldn't matter. But it does.
I agree.
But it does.
I agree. At the time I saw it live, like you, Deanna, I thought it was a stunt because I'm laughing. Now, let me preface all of this to say that I got the joke. I'm old enough to get the joke. If nobody knew what G.I. Jane was, the first one was starred Demi Moore, and she shaved her head.
Right.
And Jada Pinkett Smith's also really fit. So I thought it was a perfect joke. So I'm laughing. The camera cuts to the two of them. Will Smith is laughing.
Right.
However, Jada was not. So she did not enjoy that little joke.
No.
So I'm not thinking anything of it. They cut back to the stage. And I don't know if he started to say something. I don't remember what else he started to say. And it was apparent something was happening in the audience. The next thing I know, Will Smith comes up on stage. So I'm thinking, oh, this is because they've been doing these like skit things all night.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, this is another one of those things, but it might be a little bit more impromptu. So he goes up there and does what I thought was a fake slap, because I heard, I guess his hand brushed against the mic.
Yeah.
And so I heard some sort of a sound, but from the angle and distance that I was from my TV, I couldn't tell that he actually hit him. And then he walks off, but he's not smiling.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. And then I'm looking at Chris's reaction and he looks stunned. And then he kind of had a little bit of a smile. He apparently says something and I can't hear anything because they cut the mic like almost immediately.
Yeah, probably a good call.
Like, where's the audio? What's going on? What's going on? I can't hear anything. And then they cut back to Will Smith and he's mouthing expletives about not talking about his wife or not having his wife's name.
Keep her name out of your mouth.
Right. And I'm like, is this a joke still? Because I'm still oblivious to what
like, what's going on?
Then I see Lupita's reaction, who's sitting immediately behind Will Smith. And I'm like, she ain't laughing. So this isn't a joke thing. This is serious. And I'm like, what did I miss? Now, I get that Jada is sensitive about her alopecia. I have alopecia. In my opinion, and I'm not going to be like comparing whatever, but there are forms of alopecia that are, to me, worse than others. I admire Ayanna Pressley, the representative out of Massachusetts, because she got alopecia and she has it where it's total alopecia. She is completely bald, whereas Jada seems to have stubble. And so she might have some bald spots, but I've not been able to spot them. I have alopecia, but I have scarring alopecia. So I have, you can see all here is clean. And then I have the shadow is around in this area. So I think that there are people that, and maybe it's still fairly new for her. If he had made that joke about me, I would have been laughing. But for Will to think that it was okay to physically assault someone for words is, to me, the silliest thing. And he took away from that, because I thought up until then, it was an absolutely amazing show. It was well produced. It was, for the first time, I think, since Quincy Jones, produced by a Black man. It had 2 Black hosts. It was diverse in every aspect of it. And he took away from the feeling that everybody had. But more importantly, he ended up becoming the 3rd Black man to win an Academy Award. And he took away from that.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't thinking that when he got up there. I was pissed.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't want him to win because of what he had just done. And then what hurt was he did not apologize to Chris. He waited until yesterday and had a publicist write his apology and post it on Instagram. And he should have done it in the moment. The minute he got up there, he should have first apologized to Chris, to the audience, to the Academy, to his nominee. All of that he should have done first. But he then continued, in my opinion, to justify it by saying that he feels like it's called upon him to be his family's protector or defender or whatever the terminology was, which to me was like, okay, so you're defending your actions.
Yes.
But at the same time, trying to allegedly apologize, hoping they'll invite you back again. And I hope that they ban him at least for a year.
Yeah.
And I don't care if anybody comments and says negative things to me. I used to be a Will Smith fan. I'm not saying I'm not anymore, but this has totally, he has gone down a number of notches, because violence is not the answer. You are a professional. You make millions upon millions of dollars. Every time you do a movie, people look up to you. People look and listen to how you carry yourself. And you went on not only national-wide television, this beamed across the world. And you showed people that that's how you respond to somebody making a joke. It was a joke. And it wasn't even an insensitive one to people with alopecia. She did look like she could have been cast for G.I. Jane. I'm sorry, she did.
Right.
So to me, it really wasn't something that warranted the response that he gave. And I'm embarrassed as a Black person that a Black man went on a stage and did that to another Black man. And the question is, if that was a white comic, would he have done that? And who knows? I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have. And so
I have
that's my
no
thing.
idea. Yeah, I have no idea, but I agree with you. And I think I have lost a tremendous amount of respect for both of them. I lost respect for Jada with the whole entanglement thing a long time ago.
Oh yeah, I don't even understand that whole thing.
No, yeah, it was just, I mean, I guess they have an open marriage and I don't know,
whatever.
right? Whatever, which is bizarre to me, but okay.
To me, that's their business. We don't need to be knowing about it.
Right, but she shares it.
Yeah.
She shares it. And she's very public. So you share it, then, you know, people will form opinions. So anyhow, but yeah, I think in my opinion, Jada has probably beaten him down so much over the years because he was laughing and then he's like, oh, I better do something.
He was. Yeah.
That, you know,
I'm
her
sure
look, she like a
she
little
must have
puppet.
said something. Yeah. She might have said something to him for all we know.
Yeah. But I agree. It could have been handled differently. After the show, pull him aside.
He could have sat there and just said, boo. Or he could have said, don't say that about my wife, from the audience. He didn't need to go up on stage.
No, he could have talked about it afterwards. Think about it. If after the show, they're going to see each other.
Yeah.
You know, after the show, say, hey man, that wasn't cool. You know, that was wrong of you. And whatever, you know.
I think there is a sense of responsibility when you're in that role. And
Yes.
he is known to be a family man. He plays in a lot of movies where he is more exposed to younger viewers, younger audiences. Does he do voices for like other movies?
I think he does.
He
I
did
think he
Shark
did do
Tale,
something.
but I don't know if he did anything. He might have done.
You know, even with Men in
other.
Black, I know they made the reference to that movie already as a joke in one of the memes I seen regarding this incident, but it really is difficult to see, and it's sad to see that so much was lost because of, you know, a moment, behavior, losing your composure, whatever it may be. I can't say if it was a mental breakdown and answer that direct question, Edie, but you know, it really just, everything that was stated here is really, really on mark, because it's just took away from so much wonderful growth in the Academy Awards becoming more diverse and really like trying to be more inclusive in that sense and really give recognition where recognition is deserved. And
he took it away. Well, on that note, we're going to wrap it up because I know it's just about 10 o'clock and we all have appointments and things to do.
Exactly.
Oh, darn.
Yeah. So thank you guys for doing this with me for our very first Tuesday talk.
You're welcome. This was fun.
am going to look. It was fun. I did notice that it streamed to the wrong place, but I shared it. So when this is done, I'm going to go back and see if we can find it, but I'll upload it again. So I'm glad that we actually are recording it too, because this was a fun conversation. I will look into Restream and some other things as well. And I hope you guys come back and join me because
hell yeah.
This is a lot of fun, so.
I'll be back.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye. And stop. All right.